Okay, hello everyone. It's Celtic Nadia again. So I have been quite busy trying to make the content for you. I've been doing the batch recording, as they called it. I quickly put up a short letting you know that I was having a bit of technical difficulty. Still figuring out a few things concerning the hardware and software with going live and everything. Give me a second. But I wanted to let you all know, you cut, see the drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, not sure. Let's see. All right. There are 6 projects currently on standby. I've got to finish these up. So I have the screen closed on yet, but 4 of the projects are actually dedicated specifically to the channel for all of you. It would teach you some stuff. I'm also trying to batch record a few other things so as to create and edit videos for you. And trying to figure out what I could do. And I don't know what you would think. It's okay if it's okay if no one's here when I first went live for you all. But definitely put it in the comments if you wouldn't mind. How would you feel if when my birthday comes around? How would you feel if I were to kind of share a little with you, with myself concerning my endeavors and everything? Again, my goal is to serve you. And oh yeah, another thing that I've got pretty well with is the outlet called Quora, Quora. You look for the same. You see Celtic Nadia, although knitting with Celtic Nadia is a space that I upload content to and everything. I think I finally surpassed. I think I surpassed my 300th answer on here. For those of you who are ever, if any of you ever go to Quora. Quora is known by this big red Q. The big red Q right there. That's Quora. You can easily find it in the App Store as well as Google Play. And you can find me as Celtic Nadia. And here I have managed to, I've answered more than 300 questions already. I've only asked 7 because something's caught my interest, but mostly because I'm looking for ideas to potentially serve the knitting community. I'll ask you right here. Tell me in the comments what you would have answered. I will also link these to you all in the description if you want to sign up for Quora. Follow me there for different questions and answers, and give me ideas. So the only questions I'll ask here are the ones that are affiliated with knitting and/or crocheting. One question I did ask, because I've seen a number of men who knit on YouTube. That is something that kind of made me want to ask. Men who knit or crochet, what got you interested in the needle crafts in the first place, and why do you like it? So I don't know if there are any guys who knit who follow me or anything like that, but I'm curious, what drew you towards knitting? What about it? And mind you, I do carpentry with my dad. I so it's I honestly don't think there's anything wrong in seeing guys knit. I wear men's clothing. I took interest in sort of like kind of like crafts that you would more that are more stereotypically masculine, like carpentry. I've taken interest in that stuff. Not that I haven't done it yet because I currently don't have the tools, but I wanted to build something with my father when I found him last year. So, for guys who knit, if you're curious and are willing to share, what got you interested in the needlecrafts in the first place? Knitting or crocheting, whichever one it is. I was curious. What drew you? I personally was drawn to it because of the fact that I have a seizure disorder. The whole reason I've got the purple, whether it's my jacket here or on my logo. Give me a minute. Let me get to the gallery here. Hold on. Let me see, right down here. So yeah, so I mean, like on my live thumbnail, I've got the purple background. Uh, Again, all the purple. This is with regards to epilepsy awareness. These are the different logos that I use to try and be identified by people. When I when I have content up here, this is how I try to stand out in a way. I use purple because of a couple things. One is epilepsy awareness. I've had that since infancy. And on top of that, domestic violence awareness. I started dealing with that around age 5. I escaped the abuse when I was 27, just short of 27. It was the July before my birthday. Meanwhile, I still continue to have neurological symptoms. Uh, every now and again, I have to step away from the computer if I start feeling kind of funny. I don't know why. I this used to not bother me. Now it does. Uh, but seizures have been a problem for me for a long time. I still, to this day, have not been able to drive. I haven't been medically cleared to drive, just still to this day, and I will be 29 by October. So when I have seizures, unfortunately, I can sustain memory loss. I could not remember my father's face from the last time I'd seen him, which was I was like 3 or 4. And for some reason, I can remember some memories from then, but for some reason, not my dad. And when I reunited with him last year, there there have been I had no idea what he looked like, what he sounded like, none of that. I didn't know. And unfortunately, that's just what happens with seizures. It can affect your memory. But one thing for some reason managed to survive the memory wipeout caused by a seizure. It was my knitting skills. For some reason, I never forgot how to knit. None of the things I taught myself from various books. I never forgot any of them. For some reason, these skills survive the neuroelectrical assault that a seizure is to your body. And considering how I never forgot how to knit, despite how many seizures I've had, that's what kind of compelled me to stick with it. It's like, I'm not exactly one to believe in destiny or anything, but I mean, but it does kind of get the gears clicking in your mind, and you kind of wonder if there's a significance, like a spiritual or emotional significance, that you could have as a result of, for some reason, memory loss was not an issue when it came to your knitting, but everything else for some reason. And the domestic violence, I didn't have a very protective or loving mom. She was exploitive of me, and not only that, but my dad too. And when I found out about the domestic violence my father is facing from his wife, and I'm not surprised considering I was conceived out of infidelity. I understand that my dad was deprived of his needs. His wife unfortunately underestimated her recovery, her degree of recovery from her past abuse. And so, depriving my dad of his needs, he felt tempted after setting eyes upon my mom. And then here I am. But because my mom, one of the things about my mom is that she works the system. The thing is, when my father wouldn't give my mom any money because she thought he was Native American, basically as punishment for not giving my mom what she wanted, she wouldn't let me be with my dad. And my whole life pretty much I went without my dad. I spent it just over 2 weeks worth of time with him. And I don't know when I'll see him again, considering the difficulty with his wife and the fact that I look like my mom, the woman with whom he had the affair. And I can understand her frustrations. I can understand the pain and everything. The purple, it signifies the way I've survived both domestic abuse and epilepsy, but it's also something I felt much closer to my dad than my mom. There was about less than 3 weeks' time that I had interacted with him. There's 2 weeks worth or so of in-person interaction. However, from I believe the 16th, October 16th to October 28th, it was mostly phone calls with my dad. And then I saw him for real the evening of October 28th. And the whole week I spent with him up until November 4th. That was a remarkable experience I had with my dad. Less than 3 weeks worth of interactions. My dad and I felt more love from him. And mind you, he is essentially a stranger. I felt more love, respect, and care from my dad in less than 3 weeks' time. October 16th to November 4th. I felt more love in that time span from my father than I did in 27 years with my mom. And so I have the purple in part for epilepsy awareness in conjunction with not, in addition to domestic violence awareness. That's kind of what I have. But also kind of consider the fact purple or violet specifically. It's the highest frequency of radiation that is detectable to the human eye. Go any higher and into ultraviolet, it disappears. You don't see it anymore. So I feel it also represents, being reasonable. Like, don't slack off, don't only do a half job or anything like that, but at the same time, don't overdo yourself. You want to be able to be consistent. You want to be able to keep it going. And so that's the significance of all the purple you see in my channel. Meanwhile, the yarn you see in my logo, that's actually made of silk. Silk is the strongest naturally occurring fiber. Granted, it has its limits, but it's strong. But there are uses where it's not applicable. And the wooden bowl also symbolizes a kind of like a seasonality that if you don't take care of it, it will just decay and disappear the way wood eventually can decompose. Same thing with myself. If I don't take care of myself, things can happen. And also the way wood stays afloat atop water. I feel that kind of signifies something for me. The wooden yarn bowl plus the silk yarn, that those all bear a significance and meaning behind my brand. The dress you see in the thumbnail for my live videos, I knitted that dress to commemorate reuniting with my father after 28 years of separation. And this is something that has helped me get a bit of attention elsewhere. When people saw my dress, if I ever posted a photo of it somewhere. And of course, my father's friends was not expecting something like that. And so I'm gonna go back and get the questions to see, and again ask you. So this is I partly ask this because I kind of want to know when would be a good time that you might watch my videos, essentially. But I was asking what times of the day and days of the week do you most often knit and or crochet? That way I can potentially schedule my videos around and help you out better. Excuse me. I had also asked what concepts do you struggle with in knitting and how could I help you with that? A similar thing with crochet. What do you struggle with in crochet? How can I help you? And what kinds of projects would you like? One for crocheting, one for knitting. These things are ideas that I would like to put into a video. For now, I'm only focusing on the knitting, but I'm practicing my crocheting because as I go through all the knitting and I show quite a bit there, I would like to broaden the niche just a bit. But I'm not going to go outside of yarn, knitting, crocheting, including Tunisian crochet. But you can stay tuned for that. And so I get quite a bit. I have 9 notifications here that allow for me to see. Like one person here requested an answer from me. So, like, so I've like answered questions like, what are you on Quora for? What do you seek? My answer is I'm an aspiring YouTuber trying to grow my brand. On the channel Think Media, content creator Sean Cannell mentioned of the ASQ method. Answer specific questions. I came to I came to Quora so as to locate questions that I could answer not only on the Quora platform, but also link my YouTube videos for demonstrations and explanations with many answers that I have provided people. I even asked what kinds of things people would like to learn how to do. Here are just 4 of them. I put links to all the videos here. The questions asking for knitting and crocheting projects, I could actually make videos showing people how to make what they mentioned in their answers. On top of that, I would actually like to possibly make some of these and give them. So one thing I have done is I have knitted sweaters or other projects for people in the past that I just asked for them to give me a review. They bought the yarn that they want me to use, I knit what they want me to knit, and I update them if it's taken longer than expected. But in addition to that, I would, after I've knitted it and I give it to them, I give them a link to my Facebook page where, give me a minute. So I would give them the link to my Facebook page and ask for them to leave me a review for what I have made them. And this is something I would honestly like to do because this is an organic way of growth, and it's kind of helped me work on a bit of a socialization goal as well. And like I said, I already kind of explained this, but it's sort of re-mentioned here. Part of my growth strategy in organically promoting my channel is making things for people, and in exchange, they leave me a review on my Facebook page and really just pay for the supplies. Whether they buy the yarn themselves or they pay me for whatever it is if I get to send it to them. I don't know when I'll get to that point where I'll wind up sending it further distances, but definitely I would like to be able to do that one day. You see here? Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's just, see, they ask questions. Do you like Quora? If yes, why? If not, why? And like I said, I do enjoy Quora. Sean Cannell from Think Media explained that one technique to grow your channel is answering specific questions. Not only can I find questions to answer here on Quora, but I can also link my videos to these answers. And so this is another way that you could support me. I've put a link in the description for you all after this, so you can check out the Quora platform, follow me on Quora, ask me questions directly about knitting or crocheting, as well as see what else I have to offer you all. Again, I am focused on serving you within my ability. And so, granted, some people will ask me questions that aren't in my niche. I mean, like here, someone wanted me to answer what. Let's see. They would ask me questions that like, how do I make money sewing at home? I don't really sew, so no puns intended. But I could possibly answer this and explain that. I could really answer that for her and explain, well, sewing isn't my thing. You could make similar projects, like blankets or something, and sell it. Quilting, specifically. But that's the best I could figure out. This, yeah, this seems to be a very common person who's here. And at least with YouTube Shorts, I know I can briefly put something out there for you all to update you what's going on. But I have used Facebook to go live on the go in hopes to serve you. And of course, as long as I have less than 1,000 subscribers, I've got to stick with a computer right here with you all in order to go live and answer your questions. So, help me better serve you. I'll put my Quora link in the description for you all to check out. You can follow me, you can ask me questions, you can, whether you type in your own question or you can literally like search it and then say request an answer from someone, and you would just locate me. I've got the same little logo that I have on my YouTube channel. I've got the same little logo. So you can do that as a means of getting your questions answered, both on Quora and allowing me to serve you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope this is something you take interest in. I don't know how many other people do Quora. I don't know how many other YouTubers do it. But if this is unusual, you haven't heard of Quora before, and you've come to enjoy it for some reason, let me know. Share with me in the comments. So that will be it. I appreciate your participation. And again, on the replay, feel free to put something in the comments, asking questions, and let me know how I could serve you. Thank you all, guys.